All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanisha Dungy, and I work at Willard Library. And I am so pleased to present Miss Katy Avery from Leila Arboretum. She will be conducting our Back to Nature series, which will take place every Wednesday in the month of May at 11 a.m. So we are on StreamYard, excuse me. So if you have any questions or if you have any comments, feel free to put them in the comment section and they will pop up on the screen. So I am going to say goodbye and hand it over to Mrs. Avery.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the beautiful Leila Arboretum. My name is Miss Katy. I am the education manager here, and I am so excited to be zooming into your homes during the month of May. We'll be here every Tuesday morning just exploring nature. Okay, so by now you should have grabbed your May Storytime Grab and Go kit. And there's lots of tools. These tools are going to help you do the activities. We're going to be pretty interactive, doing a craft or activity each week. And we're going to start by helping ourselves explore today. We're going to look at flowers. But to help us see everything, we are going to make some pretty cool binoculars, okay, to help us do our exploring and find those flowers, find those things out in nature. We'll have those every week. So in your kit, you should have a little package like this. It has all the materials that you need in order to build your binoculars. We're going to do that together here real quick. I've got my table. And taking the pieces out of the bag, the first ones that we're going to start with is you should have two squares that look like this. They have a pattern to them. You'll notice that on the foam pieces, there's this little white backing here. We're going to take that off. It peels like a sticker. So kids, if you can help me, we're going to peel the stickers. And if you don't have your kit handy and you're watching live, that's okay. We're going to leave this on Facebook, and you'll be able to come back and watch it again. Or you can always go to our YouTube page, Willard Library's YouTube page, and we'll post the video there as well. So I've peeled off that sticker backing, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this up so it looks kind of like a toilet paper tube and stick it together. All right, give it a good firm push. Now that sticky tape there is actually really good stuff. So that should hold it really nicely. Now I've got a little telescope to look through. We're going to do the exact same thing with the other sheet. Peeling that white part off just as though it's a sticker. Oops. And rolling it up and just kind of pushing that edge right over, folding it just over so it covers that tape. And then press it down like so. Now we have two of them. And the next step is we have our gray stripes. Now I'm using the ones that have the white tabs first. It doesn't matter if you use those or the other set doesn't have those white tabs. You just want to make sure that the white tabs, there's two of them, you want them both on the same circle. So I'm going to peel again the back of the sticker off, just like this. And what this is going to do is this is going to go around the top of our tube here. So
It looks like there may be some technical difficulties at Lila Arboretum, so we are going to see if there are any questions or comments. Also, have you been able to pick up your grab and go kit at the library? We still have some story time grab and go kits. Oh, there she is.
Sorry about that, my friends. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. But we are continuing to build our tubes and um, peel those sticker backs off. Thank you for your patience. There we go. All right. So there's one. Same thing with the other tube. Just line it up on the edge and roll it all the way around. That's one. Now you'll notice, you'll notice that those are really sticky. So you'll want to place it where you want it to go and simply wrap it and then press it down, and that stick should be good enough to hold it all there. Okay, so now I've got two tubes with the gray edges on the end. So we've got the one tube has the white stripes still on it. So we're going to remove those white stripes and use that to push the two tubes together until we have a look of binoculars. That's one end. There's another end. So we've got those two tubes, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of roll them together and then press that sticky edge so that it holds those together like that. And we've got our binoculars started. So our next step, you'll need an adult help with this one, unless you're a really good knot tire. But you'll notice, don't want to lose my pieces. You'll notice you have two strings. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the string and we're gonna feed it through the little hole on the black little end cap piece right here. So I'm just gonna feed it right through, just like that. Ooh. Give it a little pinch and pull it through. And then the end that looks like a bell, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the end of the string and you're just gonna tie a little knot as close to the end as you can, just like that. And then slide that little bell-shaped piece over to the bottom, okay? Just like that. We're gonna do the same thing with the other black piece. Woo. Miss Katie's out in the Arboretum and that wind is blowing right now. I'm so happy it's not raining though, because I wanted to show you those trees behind us. At the Arboretum, we have lots of spring flowers. And those spring flowers are, right now we're seeing them as our cherry and our crab and crab apples are what's blooming right behind me. We've got several different variety in bloom right now. It's really quite beautiful. But now that you've got your two little bells on there, you're going to take the open end, okay, you've got the bell at the end. Take the open end and then put it through. You'll see that there are two little holes on the sides of your binoculars. So you're just going to feed this through the hole and then tie a double knot on the end. Miss Katie found if I tied just one knot, it was able to pull right through. So tying two knots right on the end there, that allows that to stay on there and strong. And then you're going to take the other one, the other string, and you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to feed it right through, tie a double knot on the end, and then pull it through. Now you've got the two bell shapes loose at the end. Those actually click together to make a nice little necklace so it can hang around your neck and you can have your binoculars wherever you are exploring. So we can use those throughout the Arboretum. And today, what we are exploring and looking for are different types of flowers. Flowers are so important out in nature. We have lots of different flowers again at the Arboretum right now as we speak. It's a beautiful day and week to come visit the Arboretum. Behind me again is a flowering crab apple. This is a flowering tree, okay? So different trees we often think of that have blossoms are things like apples, pears, all have blossoms on them. We see them in the springtime. Our crab apples have beautiful blossoms that we see in the springtime. And they come in many different colors. So this is a deep purple, but we also have some white ones. We have light pink and kind of a lavender as well, because these trees come in all different colors, all right? Other flowering shrubs you might see at the Arboretum right now, we have, these are our rhododendron. Now, rhododendrons are excellent because they kind of show you some different flower parts. If you take a look in here, you can see that the flower parts right there, that's where all the pollen is. If you've ever heard a grown-up talk to you about pollen in the springtime and maybe they're sneezing a lot, excuse me, that pollen is getting into the air because those flowers are really trying to attract things like our bees and our butterflies. And those pollen is, when the plant gets pollinated, that's what allows the seed to happen. So with our crab apples and our apples, when the flowers are all pollinated and they disappear, they die off, right? What's going to be left behind at each one of these blossoms is going to be a little fruit, okay? On an apple tree, we'll see apples. On our crab apple, we're going to see crab apples, which look a little bit more like a cherry, okay? So this will be covered with fruit later in the season. Other trees have flowers as well. Some of them are really beautiful and showy. Others are kind of weird looking, if you ask me. Like this right here. These are oak flowers from an oak tree. Oaks are trees that make acorns. If you think of the fall, we often talk about acorns. This is actually an oak tree flower. So these, once they're pollinated, are going to turn into acorns, believe it or not. Isn't that kind of crazy? And then these are little baby leaves right there. Here is another tree flower. This one you can see both the flowers are still there. But look at this long flower right here. Isn't that a crazy looking thing? That almost looks more like a caterpillar than a flower, doesn't it? So flowers come in all different shapes and sizes and arrangements in order to help that plant go to seed. Even here's a pine. This is from a pine tree in the Arboretum. Our pine have flowers too. These ones have just started to switch over to start making their seeds. Those seeds, of course, are going to be pine cones. I think I've got a pine cone. Like this little pine cone here. And so those flowers are going to turn into pine cones. Other flowers you might see in the Arboretum are these ones. These are both daffodils. Now daffodils, even though these are both daffodils, you can see that they look different. So we see different shapes and sizes and colors in our flowers. You can see this one has an orange center. This one is all yellow and much more like a starburst to me. So different shapes, even though they're both daffodils. This one's fun. This plant here looks like a craft project to me. It looks like something we might have in one of our take and go kits. Little pom-poms, right? That's from a shrub in the Arboretum. So flowers come in all different shapes and sizes and colors. This one's really fun. I found this one today in my exploration. This is a spruce, and it's full of flowers on it. But again, it looks almost like there's caterpillars crawling all over this plant. So each one of those is making pollen and putting that out in the air so that it can create, so it can pollinate a plant, another flower, making the seeds form, okay? So if I wanted to plant a tree, I would wait till the seeds form, plant it in the ground, and then I'd make sure it gets the things that it needs in order to grow, the water, soil, sunlight, air, make sure it has all those ingredients and it's able to grow up big and strong, and it'll eventually put out flowers, and those flowers, once pollinated, will turn back into seeds. So lots of different flowers. We're going to end on one of my favorites. You can see I've got them in my hair. That's my favorite thing to do with these, is these beautiful yellow flowers. You might recognize them. They tend to be over out in our yards as well. I can see them throughout the Arboretum as well. These, of course, are dandelions. Now, dandelions are kind of cool because every night those beautiful flowers actually go to sleep, okay? What they'll do is they're going to close on up. You see right here, they close up so that their flowers are nice and tight. They sleep through the night, and then in the morning, they're going to open back up to be that big, beautiful yellow dandelion. Now, as gorgeous as they are, and they're little bits of sunshine to me, that's not my favorite part of the dandelion. My favorite part of the dandelion is after that flower disappears. So when that flower disappears, it's going to turn into a seed puff. So where every one of those petals are, you can see that there's a little seed there. And what we can do is blow those away, right? And those seeds will travel to plant another dandelion. Now, of course, the best thing to do is make a wish. So let's make a wish together on this next one. Are you ready? On the count of 3, make your wish. Close those eyes real tight. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Wish. Great job. Great job. Now, to remember all the different flowers you can see out in the Arboretum, we are going to make a beautiful one-of-a-kind flower today. And that's our craft in our kit. You can have a grown-up help you if you want. They might help with some of the folding if your grown-ups nearby. But all the ingredients you need are going to be in your plastic bag in that yellow kit. It's for the May 5th May Flowers package. And we have in here 4 sheets of tissue paper of different colors and a pipe cleaner. Now, if you chose to, you could make these smaller and make different size flowers. I like these great big ones myself. So I am going to keep my paper all in one size here. Um, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of straighten them up and line them up. And we are going to make an accordion fold on this, okay? Now, when I say accordion fold, what that means is we're going to do a fold like this, okay? You can see where I've got lots of ridges. They name it accordion fold because it goes in and out like an accordion here. And we're going to do that with all 4 pieces laid together. So you can see I've got my 4 pieces all lined up. And I'm just going to do little folds down here. And I make my folds about an inch long. If you were doing this in smaller flowers, you could cut the paper in half. I would do it probably smaller folds if you're doing smaller flowers. But you'll notice that I'm folding along the short edge. So I'm going to go all the way down my sheet of paper, and I make a fold, and then I flip it over. And I'll fold it again, and I'll flip it over. Fold it, flip, fold it, flip, fold it. Now don't worry, if your folds don't line up perfectly, look at Miss Katie's. They don't line up absolutely perfect. That's okay, all right? You don't have to have perfect folds on here. We're just trying to get that kind of zigzagginess to our flower. And again, you can see I've got some misaligned edges, and that is a-okay. So give some good creases in there. All right, so your folding, your accordion fold should be done. If it's not, that's okay. What you can do is either pause it or come back and watch the next step if you need to. But we're going to take the pipe cleaner next, and we're going to lay the folded tissue paper about a couple inches from the bottom, or from the top, I guess, okay? Then you're just going to fold over that pipe cleaner so it pinches right in the middle. So you've got half of your tissue paper on one side and half on the other. And then just twist the bottom so that the 2 wires end up together. No sharp pokes there. It should look like this. We're not looking like a flower yet, but we're super close. So all you do next is you're going to take layers. And when you do this step, you're going to want to be pretty careful because you don't want to tear that paper if you're a little bit too fast. So I'm just going to separate. My first layer is purple here. I'm going to separate that purple layer and pull it towards the center on both sides. Now I'm going to take the green layer is next in mine. Your colors will be different. But my next layer is green on this one. And I'm just going to pull it again towards the center. Just separating it. Not too tough because I don't want to pull it. Separating it out. Pulling it towards the middle. You can see it's starting to get nice and fluffy like a flower. Whoops. I ripped it. Told you, got to be very careful. Even Miss Katy does that sometimes. Gently pulling this layer. And then just kind of fluffing that bottom pink one up. And voila, you have a gorgeous flower. to remind you to come visit me at the Arboretum. You're welcome to come to our grounds anytime from dawn to dusk and check out the flowers here and see what's growing. So I hope to see you at the Arboretum soon, but I will definitely see you guys next week at 11 o'clock. Until then, thank you very much. I'm going to check in with Miss Tanisha and see if we had any questions.
We don't have any questions, unfortunately, but if you are able to watch it later and you want to ask questions then, maybe we could address them next Wednesday at 11 a.m. What do you think, Miss Katie?
I think that's perfect.
Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you
we
so
see
much,
you, Miss
everybody.
Katie.
See you
Yes.
soon.
Bye bye.